Caitlin Clark's reported Nike signature shoe release date raises eyebrows. Arguably one of the biggest storylines to follow in the women's basketball world is the release of Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark's debut Nike signature shoe. Clark signed with Nike shortly after her college career ended. As soon as this was announced, her massive fan base was champing at the bit to get their hands on number 22's first signature shoe. It came as no surprise that no shoe was made available during Clark's rookie 2024 campaign, because that turnaround time would have been impossibly fast even for a production juggernaut like Nike. Then 2025 rolled around and fans were convinced that Nike would be releasing Clark's debut shoe at some point during the Fever's 2025 season. Then the season arrived and there was no announcement. Frustration with Nike's pacing grew as the year progressed, especially after Angel Reese's signature shoe with Reebok came out during the season, although she signed with Reebok about 6 months before Clark signed with Nike. One bit of good news was that in August, Nike revealed Clark's signature logo and confirmed that a shoe was indeed coming in 2026. On Christmas Day, shoe guru Nick DiPaolo wrote, on X, Caitlin Clark's anticipated Nike signature shoe is expected to launch in spring 2026. Caitlin Clark's anticipated Nike signature shoe is expected to launch in spring 2026. Clark made an appearance on the New Heights podcast with the Kelsey brothers on January 5th and said, "My signature shoe has been in the works for quite some time. Obviously, this is launching a whole year where my shoe will come out. I'm wearing it on the court this coming season." While there's a difference between Clark being able to wear her signature shoe on the court during games and the shoe being made available to the public for purchase, many thought this was confirmation of DiPaolo's report and indicated that the shoe would be coming this spring given there is a WNBA season. New reports suggest Caitlin Clark Nike shoe timeline has been pushed back. It's important to note that this report isn't confirmed. However, Soul Retriever is pretty credible in these matters. This report is scratching some heads. Not only is the sneaker seemingly being moved back until after the season, at least in terms of public availability, but holiday 2026 is relatively vague. If there's any silver lining, it's that all indications suggest Clark's debut signature shoe will be under countless Christmas trees this year. Caitlin Clark sends one-word message after Jan Jensen earns national recognition at Iowa. Following in the footsteps of a legend was always going to be hard. But for head coach Jan Jensen, the transition has been more than smooth. After Caitlin Clark's departure and Lisa Blutter's retirement, the number 13 ranked Hawkeyes entered a new chapter under Jensen, and with it came natural questions about whether the standard will hold. This week the answer has finally arrived, and it didn't go unnoticed. After leading the Hawkeyes to another milestone win, Jensen has officially etched her name into Iowa history. With a recent victory over the Nebraska Cornhuskers, the Hawkeyes improved to 20-5 in the 2025-26 NCAA season. That mark makes Jensen the first head coach in program history to secure 20-plus wins in each of her first 2 seasons at the helm. But this achievement didn't just become another line in Iowa's record books. It also caught the attention of one of the program's biggest names. Shortly after the announcement, when viral former Hawkeye Caitlin Clark took to X to res-hair a post celebrating Jensen's achievement, Clark also added her own comment, and all it took was just one word, aura. Jensen had long been Blutter's trusted assistant, deeply embedded in the culture that elevated Iowa into a national powerhouse. So after a promotion, the expectation from her was continuity, but what she has been delivering is sustained excellence. Just last season, with star guard Lucy Olson leading the Hawkeyes, Iowa finished 23-11 overall, 10-8 Big Ten, and earned an NCAA tournament berth. That alone would have validated the transition. However, this season has removed any lingering doubt about her. Jan Jensen's national recognition backs up Caitlin Clark's reaction. If adding her name to the history books was enough, Coach Jensen was also named to the watch list for the 2026 Werner Latter Naismith Women's College Coach of the Year award. This is an honor that is presented annually to the nation's top women's college basketball coach. It was established in 1987, and recent winners include Dawn Staley and Gino Arima. This recognition places her among the sport's elite as Iowa continues to build momentum in the Big Ten. With 11 wins and 3 losses in their conference so far, which is highlighted by 5 wins, 6 overall, over AP top 25 opponents. Iowa is also tied for 6th nationally with 6 Quad 1 victories. This resume underscores the program's ability to compete at the highest level even after a major roster transition. Moreover, Coach Jensen now sits just 3 victories shy of Angie Lee's 45 wins, which is marked as the most by an Iowa head coach across their first 2 years. With just 3 regular season games remaining where Iowa will play Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin, the Hawkeyes remain firmly in the Big Ten race. But as the season moves forward, all eyes will remain on Jensen and how far she can push Iowa in what is already shaping up to be a historic start.